There are only a few weeks left until our wedding. Yet for the past 2 days, the man who is about to become my husband and I have not said a single word to each other. What makes me feel even more confused is that this Cold War started because of just one name on the guest list: my ex-boyfriend. I am 27 years old. My fiancé and I have been together for more than 3 years. We have already taken our wedding photos, booked the venue, and sent invitations to most of our relatives. Everything seemed to be ready. All that was left was to wait for the day we officially became husband and wife. But the closer the wedding gets, the easier it is for small things to turn into serious conflicts. We are both under pressure because of money, work, and the expectations of both families. I thought a disagreement over the guest list would simply be one of those things we needed to sit down and discuss. I never imagined it would make him say something I still cannot forget. My ex-boyfriend was my high school classmate. We dated briefly when we were younger, then broke up peacefully. There was no cheating, no major argument, and no lingering attachment afterward. Since the breakup, we have treated each other only as former classmates. My high school class is still quite close. Every year we have a few reunions, and whenever someone gets married, the whole class usually attends together. My ex is still part of that group. We might sit at the same table and exchange a few polite words, but we never text privately or meet one-on-one. When I first made the guest list, I wrote his name down with the rest of my high school classmates. The moment my fiancé saw it, he asked, "You are planning to invite your ex to our wedding?" I answered casually, "He's my high school classmate. I am inviting the whole class, so I included him too." My fiancé's expression changed immediately. He said he did not like it and felt that inviting an ex to our wedding was disrespectful to the man I was about to marry. I could see that he was uncomfortable, so I did not want to turn it into a bigger issue. At that moment, I crossed my ex's name off the list and said, "Fine, if you do not like it, I will not invite him." I thought that was the end of it. A few days later, I met my close friends to give them their invitations. When they looked at the guest list and found out I was not inviting my ex, several of them were surprised. One friend said, "It will look strange if everyone in the class is invited except him. Future reunions will be awkward." Another friend added, "There is nothing between you two anymore. You broke up years ago, and now you are only classmates. Not inviting him might actually make it look like you still have unresolved feelings." At first, I did not plan to change my decision, but after hearing what they said, I started thinking about it again. It was true that if every other classmate received an invitation except one person, simply because he used to date me, it might make future meetings uncomfortable. I did not want him to think I was still affected by our past. I also did not want our classmates to feel caught in the middle every time there was a reunion or another wedding, wondering whether they should invite both of us or only one. That evening, I tried to bring it up with my fiancé again.
I waited until he was sitting on the couch, looking at his phone, then said gently, "I want to talk about the guest list again." As soon as he heard that, he asked, "This is about your ex again, right?" I said, "I just think he is still part of my high school class. I will continue seeing him at reunions and our classmates' weddings. If everyone gets invited except him, it feels a little strange." He put down his phone and looked directly at me. "Strange for whom? Are you afraid he will be upset?" I was shocked by the way he asked. "No, that is not what I mean. I just do not want everyone to feel awkward later." He gave a cold laugh. "You are about to marry me, yet you are still worried about making your ex uncomfortable? Do you think that is normal?" I started getting angry. "Do not twist my words. I am not worried about my ex. I am talking about the friendship within the class. We ended things peacefully, and there are no feelings left." He answered immediately. "To you, he may be just a classmate. To me, he is still your ex-boyfriend." I tried to explain that if there were anything inappropriate between us,
I would not have told him everything openly. I never hid the fact that we had dated. I only wanted to invite my ex as a member of the class, nothing more. But my fiancé did not listen. He believed the fact that I brought up the subject again proved that I cared more about my ex's feelings than his. I said, I already agreed not to invite him because of you. Now I am only asking us to discuss it again reasonably. Does bringing it up automatically make me wrong? He replied, yes, you are wrong. No woman who is about to get married would insist on inviting her ex to the wedding. The word insist made me even more upset. I had never insisted. I was only explaining how I saw the situation. But in his eyes, the fact that I did not immediately agree with him meant I was opposing him. We started raising our voices. I asked, if you had an ex who was also part of your friend group and you all still met at reunions, I would not stop you from inviting her, as long as everything was clear between you. He said, that is you. I cannot accept it. I asked, then do you trust me? He stayed silent for a few seconds before saying something that left me completely numb. If you had told me from the beginning that this was how you think, I would never have married you. I do not remember exactly what I said after that. I only remember a ringing in my ears. I looked around the room, filled with wedding decorations and unfinished invitations, then looked at the man I had believed I would spend the rest of my life with. I asked him, just because I considered inviting a former classmate who happens to be my ex, you can say you would not marry me? He did not take his words back. He only said, the way you think is the problem. You are wrong, but you do not even realize it. No one behaves like you. That night, I took a pillow and slept on the couch. The next morning, we both went to work as usual. He didn't ask whether I had eaten breakfast. I did not prepare anything for him until morning did. In the evening, we returned to the same house, but stayed in separate rooms. He looked at his phone, and I pretended to be busy writing millions of invitations. Today is the second day that we have this wedding.
Sometimes I want to be the first one to make peace because the wedding is so close. I am afraid our parents will find out and start worrying. I am afraid that after preparing so much, everything might fall apart. I also understand that my fiancé may feel jealous or uncomfortable seeing my ex at our wedding. But what hurts me now is no longer the question of whether I should invite him. What hurts is that one disagreement was enough for my fiancé to dismiss our entire relationship with the sentence, I would not have married you. I have started wondering what will happen after we get married if we continue to have different opinions. Every time I disagree with him, will he say I am wrong, that no one is like me, or that he would not have married me if he had known? I have also tried to reflect on my own behavior. Maybe I cared too much about what my friends thought. Maybe once he told me he was uncomfortable, I should not have brought it up again. Or perhaps inviting an ex to a wedding really is a boundary I should not cross, even if there are no feelings left between us. My best friend says I did nothing wrong. She says a marriage without trust will only become more exhausting later. But another friend says I should compromise because the wedding belongs to both of us, and an outsider should not be allowed to damage our relationship. I have already decided that I will not invite my ex. One guest is not important enough for me to risk my marriage. But I still cannot bring myself to speak first because his words keep replaying in my mind. I do not know whether I am being stubborn because of my pride or whether I am finally seeing a much bigger problem before entering this marriage. The invitations are still lying on the table. My wedding dress is still hanging in the closet. My phone still has no message from him. There were only a few weeks left until the wedding. But for the first time, I am no longer sure whether we are fighting because of an ex-boyfriend or standing in front of a warning sign that both of us have ignored throughout our 3 years together.
Nếu bạn yêu thích những câu chuyện đời thật, những tâm sự sâu sắc về tình yêu, hôn nhân, gia đình và bài học cuộc sống, hãy nhấn đăng ký kênh, like, chia sẻ và để lại bình luận bên dưới để cùng lan tỏa những câu chuyện ý nghĩa đến nhiều người hơn. Sự ủng hộ của bạn chính là động lực để Tâm sự đời thật tiếp tục kể thêm nhiều câu chuyện chân thật, cảm xúc và đáng suy ngẫm mỗi ngày. Cảm ơn bạn đã lắng nghe và đồng hành cùng kênh.